Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the 2-year cost of ownership for a C5 Corvette. If you've watched some of my recent videos, you know that I just passed the 2-year mark on the car. So I just wanted to talk about what the car has cost me. This way, if you're in the market for one, you have a good feel on what the car might cost you. Now, of course, day one, you have to pay your taxes, titles, fees, plates, all that good stuff. For me here in New Jersey, that was $950. I'm going to keep the dollar amounts at the bottom of the screen. This way, you can all keep along as I go through all this. So that was, day one cost. Right as I picked up the car, I went straight over to the DMV, and it was $950 for taxes, titles, fees, and all that good stuff. Now, a week or so after I bought the car, even though the previous owner told me he had recently done a oil change, of course, I didn't want to really take his word for that, so I did my own oil change. Now, over the course of the 2 years that I've owned it, I've done 3 oil changes. Now, each oil change is about 6.5 quarts of oil. So, in the very beginning, I bought 2 5-quart jugs from Walmart. Now, if you're going to buy oil, I would highly suggest Walmart. It's really cheap. So each 5-quart costs $25. So of course, over those 3 oil changes, I've bought 4 of those quarts, 5 quarts. So those total up to $100 just for the oil. Now, on top of that, I use, I change up the filters here from time to time. But the most expensive filters, that I've found, I'm just going to use those as a base mark. This way, if you go with those, you know what it would cost. They're about $15 a piece. So if I have those 3 oil changes at $15 each, that's $45 for oil filters. So my 3 oil changes have cost me $145. And then, of course, I had to get insurance on the car. If you've watched my previous video on how much insurance cost me, you know that for every 6 months it cost me about $310. So that over a 2-year period, 4 payments of $310 is $1,240, which in my previous video I said isn't bad at all. I mean, I'm just driving my Honda Accord, and that cost me, another $80 per payment. So over 4 payments, that's another $320. So the insurance payment on this car isn't bad at all. Now, for the cost of fuel over this 2-year period, if you saw some of my previous videos, you know that I put 5,000 miles a year on my car, so that's a total of 10,000 miles that I've put on the car. During that time, I've averaged about 19 miles per gallon, which is really good, I think. Gas here in New Jersey has fluctuated over that 2-month period, but currently it's at about $3 a gallon for premium gas. So, if you multiply all that out, it's about $1,500 to $1,600 just in gas for those 2 years. Now, when I originally did the taxes, titles, and fees, that registration was only good for a 1-year period. So at the 2nd year, I had to get renew my registration, which here in New Jersey, that's $46.50 for the year. I'm just going to round that to $50 just to keep the numbers simple. Now, some of you might wonder how much tires cost on the car. When I originally got the car, the tires were in good shape. The passenger rear tire did have a plug in it, but wasn't worried about that until about a week or 2 before I went out to Carlisle for Corvettes in Carlisle. I got another screw in the tire, and that screw was within inches of the current plug, so that tire couldn't be repaired again. So I had to get a new tire. I originally had Firestone Indy 500s or something like that. I forget what the name of I still have them on the front, so I'll put the name of the tire in the description and on the screen now. But I changed the 2 rear tires out to Hankook Ventus V12s. At the time when I needed the tire, they weren't making the Firestone tire anymore. So I just got the 2 rear tires. I didn't have the money for all 4 of the tires. In the springtime coming up, I will replace the 2 front tires to match the Hancocks. But those 2 rear tires with, tires, balancing, all that good stuff was $450. Of course, you can go with a more expensive tire and pay, I don't know, maybe another $200 or something like that, whatever it is. But the Hancocks only cost me $450. Now that concludes all the all the required maintenance, repairs, and normal payments that you would have on a car. Now I'm going to go into some of the modifications that I did. If you watched some of my videos, you know that I replaced the headlights and fog lights with LEDs. Those LEDs for the 2 sets only cost me $55. I installed them myself, so labor was free. I also picked up a black wing air filter from my neighbor. He gave that to me for free, which was very nice of him. So that was free, and the installation was by myself, so the labor was free. I believe if you were to buy that black wing, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of, it's a little over $200. It's like $220, $230, it's something like that. Now also I bought vinyl wrap off Amazon. I got it from Vivid Vinyl, I believe was the name of the company. For when I just did the target top, I think it was only like a $35 piece of vinyl. So that was only $35, and I did the labor myself, so labor was free. Now, one of the last modifications that I did that I haven't gone over in any of my videos was getting the windows tinted. I went to a local shop here in Middletown, New Jersey. They did an awesome job on the tint. They were a little on the pricey side when I called around and got prices from different shops. They were a little bit on. They were more than most, but they were just very convenient. They were at within 5 minutes walking distance of my work, so I was able to just bring my car in during working hours, got it done, was able to walk back to work, so I didn't have to take any time off, and I was able to get the windows tinted in one day without really any inconvenience to me. So sometimes you got to pay for that convenience, and for that task I was willing to pay for that convenience. And then now one of the most important things on how much a car will cost you is, of course, the depreciation on the vehicle itself. Once you buy a new vehicle, once you drive off that lot, you're going to lose thousands of dollars right off the bat. When you buy a used car, that depreciation is a lot less. So for my car, when I bought the car, it was $15,500. Recently, just yesterday when I checked Kelley Blue Book, it was in the neighborhood of $15,000. So I've only lost $500 on the depreciation of the vehicle. So now once you add up all those values, you get about in the neighborhood of $5,200. Now, in my opinion, that $5,200 is, it's a good deal for having a sports car like a C5 Corvette. Obviously, if you're in the market for one, you're going to have to make that decision by yourself, whether or not that's, good for you. But I have no regrets so far. I'm sure if you talk to any other Corvette owner, they don't have any regrets. Unless, of course, they got that one bad car that, tormented them every step of the way. But, in my experience with my car, it's been great. And I hope it stays great for as long as I own the car. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Thank you, and have a great day.